Today we will discuss the classification of gymnosperms. We know that the gymnosperms are placed in between the division Pteridophyta and division Angiosperms. Whenever we are dealing with the classification, we should note that the groups which are represented on left hand side are more primitive with comparison to the groups which are represented on right hand side. With this reference, we can say that the gymnosperms are advanced to the pteridophytes. They are more evolved than pteridophytes, but they are primitive than the angiosperms. How the plants are classified is described in the video classification of plants. I will provide the link of this video in description box. Please visit and see how the plants are classified and how the gymnosperms are placed in between pteridophytes and angiosperms. In this video, we will discuss the classification proposed by Sporne in 1965. According to Sporne, gymnosperms are divided in three classes: class Cycadopsida, class Coniferopsida, and class Gnetopsida. Again, we should note that the class which is represented on left hand side is primitive. So Cycadopsida is the group of most primitive gymnosperms, and the classes which are represented on the right hand side are more evolved. So the plants from Gnetopsida are most evolved gymnosperms. Obviously, as Cycadopsida are primitive in gymnosperms, they will show more or less resemblance with pteridophytes, whereas the plants from Gnetopsida will show resemblance with the plants of division Angiosperms. Let us see the classification of Cycadopsida. Cycadopsida includes four orders, namely Pteridospermales, Bennettitales, Pentoxylales, and Cycadales. The first three orders includes the extinct life forms. These specimens are present only in the form of fossil. We do not get the living specimens from these three orders. The Pteridospermales are further divided into 7 families, Bennettitales divided in 3 families, and Pentoxylales are divided in 1 family. The most primitive order is Pteridospermales. The name itself suggests that these are the plants which resembles with pteridophytes. Pterido indicates the resemblance with pteridophytes, and as they bear seed, they are called as pteridospermales. The members of pteridospermales are called as seed fern. The fourth order, that is the order Cycadales, include both extinct forms as well as living forms. This order is divided in 2 families and it is represented by 11 living genera and about 100 species. The common example of the order Cycadales is Cycas. We can say that Cycas is the representative member for the class Cycadopsida. In this picture, we can see the Cycas plant. It has a tap root system. It may shows corollite root system, so dimorphic roots. The stem is unbranched, columnar in nature. The leaves are dimorphic. These are the green photosynthetic leaves, and there will be brown leaves which are non-photosynthetic. Let us discuss these characteristics in detail. So class Cycadopsida is characterized by woody stem. In number of plants, this stem is aerial, which is unbranched, just like as a cycas, or in case of Zamia, the stem is underground rhizomatous. It is a subterranean in its position. The root system is a taproot system. In some plants, we get corollite roots. Taproot system will provide the anchoring and mechanical support, that is support to the plant, whereas corollite roots are negatively geotropic. They will grow towards the surface of the soil. They show a much branched structure, just like as the corals. They contribute in nitrogen fixation. Due to their appearance, they are called as corollite roots. The stem is usually unbranched and it shows persistent leaf bases. The leaf bases will be present here permanently. They will keep the leaf scar on the stem. The leaves are dimorphic, so we get two types of leaves. In this picture, we can see the photosynthetic leaves. They are green in color. They are pinnately compound. They have long rachis along which the pinnae or leaflets are arranged. The photosynthetic leaves are produced in the crown at the top of the stem. The non-photosynthetic leaves, they are brown in color and protective in nature. The photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic leaves are produced alternately. So in one season, there will be formation of the ring of photosynthetic leaf. In another season, it is followed by the formation of the non-photosynthetic leaves, brown leaves. The leaflet shows presence of single midrib. Wood in the Cycadopsida is characterized as monozylic wood. You should note this terminology, monozylic. In monozylic wood, the tracheids are loosely arranged. Due to loose arrangement and due to presence of abundant parenchyma, the wood appears to be fibrous. So it is a fibrous wood and cannot be used for the timber purpose or for the purpose of furniture. The wood of Cycadopsida shows presence of mucilage. With reference to reproduction, we have two types of plants. Sexually, we get male plants distinct from the female plants. So they are called as dioecious plants. Dioecious means morphologically we get two separate plants, male and female plant. The female plant will produce megasporophylls. The megasporophylls are loosely arranged, due to which they are not called as cone, but they are called as megasporophyll itself. Each megasporophyll has a stalk, and at apex it will show little part of the photosynthetic nature. And on this stalk, we will get ovules. The ovules of Cycas are few of the largest ovules. The Cycas ovule is orthotropous in nature. That means the micropyle end will be present away from the chalazal end. The male cone bears microsporophylls. The male cone are compact. They will have a single axis, and around this axis, the microsporophylls will be arranged cyclically. Each microsporophyll bears the sporangia, that is the reproductive part, on abaxial surface. Abaxial surface is the surface which is present away from the axis. Suppose this is the axis, then on this leaflet we will get two surfaces. The surface which is present towards axis is called as adaxial surface, adjacent to axis adaxial, and the surface which is present away from the axis is called as abaxial surface. So the sporangia will be produced on this surface which is away from the axis, abaxial surface. Each male gamete is a motile structure. The male gametes bear a spiral band of flagella. With the help of these flagella, the spores can swim in water, so they are motile. The mode of pollination is anemophilous. That means the pollination is carried out by wind only. No other agency is there. As this type of pollination is dependent on chance, plants need to produce mass of pollen grains. Otherwise, the rate of fertilization will be very less. These ovules will be fertilized only when they will be pollinated by the microspores, that is the male gametes, in its receptive condition. So when the ovules are receptive and the pollen grains reach to this point, micropyle, they germinate, then and then only this ovule will be fertilized and will be converted into seed. Now as this chance is less, there is a less frequency of seed setting in Cycadopsida. This is the cause why these plants could not produce much amount of seeds and they are not distributed widely. The major mode of reproduction is with the help of bulbils. In this picture we can see the bulbils are present there. But the bulbils cannot move far away from the mother parent. So their distribution is also restricted. The best examples of Cycadopsida are Cycas, which we discussed in this entire discussion. The another example is Zamia. Both these plants are fortunately present in our botanical garden. We should also note that the smallest gymnosperm is Zamia pygmea. It belongs to the genus Zamia and the class Cycadopsida. So these are the highlights of the class Cycadopsida. The next class is class Coniferopsida. Sporne divided Coniferopsida into 4 orders, namely order Cordiatales, order Coniferales, Taxales, and Ginkgoales. Cordiatales include extinct life forms. That means these specimens are present in the form of fossil. There are 3 families in Cordiatales. Coniferales is one of the largest orders in the Gymnosperms. It includes living forms. There are 9 families. This is the largest order. This order includes about 3/4 of all the living genera in the Gymnosperms. The order Taxales has 1 family and order Ginkgoales include 2 families. The member from Ginkgoales, called as Ginkgo biloba, is famous as a living fossil. We can get the fossil forms of Ginkgo biloba, as well as the Ginkgo is also present as a living specimen. That is why it is called as a living fossil. The general characteristic of Coniferopsida are as below. The plants in this class are large and evergreen trees, like as the pine trees, Christmas trees, Abies deodara, etc. The stem is branched and it is a dimorphic. We get 2 types of branches: the branches of limited growth and the branches of unlimited growth. The leaves are needle-like. These plants are xeromorphic in nature. Most commonly we get needle-like leaves or the scaly leaves. In some specimens of the conifers, we get linear and lanceolate leaves. In the Phyllotaxy, these leaves are arranged either spirally or they are opposite in their organization. The wood of Coniferopsida is typically pycnoxylic wood. That means the xylem elements, tracheids, are compactly arranged. Xylem parenchyma is very less and therefore it produces dense wood. This wood has high economical value as a timber wood. It is also used for furniture purpose. The wood of Coniferopsida shows presence of resin canal. The resin provides additional property to the wood. Most of the resins are insect repellents. They have their specific odor which helps in keeping the wood long durable. With respect to reproduction, we get either dioecious plants or monoecious plant. Dioecious plants will show different male and female plant. Whereas in monoecious, we will get bisexual plants. That means the male and female plants are not distinct from each other, but one and same plant behaves like as male and female plant. The female cone are usually large and woody. In number of species, we get perennial forms of the female cone. The best example is Pinus. In Pinus, the maturity of female cone requires 3 years. The male cone are compact, small, and herbaceous. They will have an axis, and along this axis, the microsporophyll will be arranged spirally. The sporangia are produced on abaxial surface. Now you are familiar with abaxial surface. Abaxial is the surface which is away from the axis. The male gametes are non-motile in Coniferopsida. The pollination is anemophilous, that is wind pollination is there, and the fertilization is a siphonogamous fertilization. The examples of Coniferopsida include Pinus, that is the pines, Oracoria tree, that is a Christmas tree, Thuja, commonly used for decorative purpose, ornamental plant, and Sequoia, the tallest gymnosperm, belongs to the class Coniferopsida. And name of this tallest gymnosperm is Sequoia sempervirens. This plant has a record height of 112 meter. The last class of division gymnosperm is Gnetopsida. Sporne kept the Gnetopsida in a single order which is called as Gnetales. Gnetales includes three families, namely Ephedraceae, Welwitschiaceae, and Gnetaceae. The Ephedraceae includes Ephedra, which is shrubby in nature and xeromorphic in nature. These plants are recorded on the Dwarka Island. The Welwitschia is present along the desert or sea coast of South Africa. The family Gnetaceae includes diversity of plants. It includes evergreen trees, shrubs, as well as climbers. Gnetum ula is the species which is a climber, and it is common in Sahyadri ranges, Western Ghats in India, where we can get Gnetum ula as a common specimen. The general characteristic of Gnetopsida are as below. The plant shows a diverse forms like as shrubs, trees, climbers. All these plants are xeromorphic in their nature. So they will have different strategies, either morphological or anatomical structures, which will help them to conserve the water. The stem is branched in all the specimens and it is a dimorphic. Here we will get two types of branches of limited growth and branches of unlimited growth. The limited growth branches will have the photosynthetic leaves most commonly, and the unlimited growth branches will be covered by non-photosynthetic leaves, or we can say scaly leaves. So leaves are dimorphic. Leaf forms are the photosynthetic leaves and scaly leaves. The xylem shows presence of vessels. This is the characteristic of Gnetopsida. The vessels are present in angiosperm and these are absent in lower plants. But in gymnosperm, specifically in the class Gnetopsida, we can see the vessels in the wood. That is why this class shows a resemblance with angiosperm. So the wood of Gnetopsida comprises of the vessels and tracheids in xylem. The wood is without resin canal. Resin canals are absent in Gnetopsida. With reference to reproduction, we get two types of plants. The plants are dioecious, that means male plants and female plants will be separate from each other. The fertilization is a siphonogamous fertilization, and these plants shows a polyembryony. The male cones are compact, they are small, and the sporangia are produced on abaxial surface. Whereas the female cones are also compact, but comparatively they are loosely arranged. The embryo is dicotyledonous. So number of characteristics resembles with the angiosperm, specifically with dicots. The leaves are simple leaves in many plants and the embryo is dicotyledonous embryo. The best examples of the class Gnetopsida are Gnetum, Ephedra and Welwitschia. All these specimens are living specimens and they are growing in comparatively drier regions, that is xerophytic regions. So this is about the classification of gymnosperms. So we can briefly summarize this classification. Sporne divided gymnosperms in three classes: Cycadopsida, Coniferopsida, and Nitopsida. And the classes are further divided in total 9 orders. 4 orders belong to Cycadopsida, 4 orders to Coniferopsida, and 1 order in the class Gnetopsida. With reference to the exam, these points are very important. I hope that this video will help you for preparation of your examination. If you have any doubts, don't hesitate to ask the questions. If you want additional videos on gymnosperms, suggest me the topic or the types so that I can bring these videos for you. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe the channel. See you in next video. Till then, take care. Thank you.